keep scrap papers around on my desktop, and this was a little journal that I made out of some printable papers that I have, and I kept the extras, and this is what this piece is from that journal. And so this piece that we make could actually go into that journal, but this is what the pieces look like that were left over, and I just cut it down to make a tag. I punched a hole, and I think what we're going to do is use some Nuvo embellishments with a small stencil, and then I picked out a stamp that will coordinate with, and I've grabbed some Distress Oxide in pickled raspberry, and I'm going to stamp first. Now this stamp comes from Bo Bunny, and I could go with any one of these. I just happen to have the circle set up, and the reason I'm doing the circle first is that once I put the Nuvo mousse on, I'm going to need to set it off to dry. So that is my thought on stamping this first. All right, and those colors will then coordinate. And I'll link to the tutorial for that. So that was our distressed ink, and I've just cleaned off my stamp, and I'm going to move that off to the side now. And then I need to decide here which of these I wanted to use. I was going towards kind of the squares, but now I'm wondering if this smaller look here would work better. Oh my gosh. Just dropped my mousse. I'm having a weird crafting day. I don't know if you've ever had one of those. Trying to push through and just continue on. And this mousse came from a mystery pack, and it looks like it has dried up. So that's disappointing, but I don't know. Let's see if we can get anything out of it here. It definitely isn't very soft. But I think if I work it, I can get it on there. All right. I want to go a little bit up here too. And then I think I'll leave it there so that we can then put a sentiment or something on there. And I am going to clean up my mess, and then I'll come back. So I don't know if I was recording or not on my cleanup, but after doing this tag with the mousse, I had some left on my stencil, and so I took a baby wipe and just pulled out another piece, and as I was cleaning off the stencil, I went ahead and transferred it onto another piece, and I almost like the subtleness of this more than I like the original. Now I've hit both of them with the heat tool, not for very long, so I don't know how dry that is, but this one is pretty well dry, and I like the results, so I'll probably use this for something in card making or another tag. So I'll set that off to the side. And what I have this splotch here that I wanted to clean up, and it didn't behave, and so now I'm going to take a scrap of paper that I have left over and go in and cover that up. So I'm going to stamp the word imagine in black ink, and let's just see how this goes. I'm going to hope to get it all in one go here and not have to worry about stamping another one. or double stamping. And let it sit there for a second to let the ink set in, and I'd cross my fingers if I could. And let's see. Okay, not bad, not bad. So I'll move that off to the side, and then I'll need to clean that stamp off in a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and hit this with a heat tool, just because it's giving me a wet look. And now to glue it down to cover up that blotch. So sometimes we just need to hide our mistakes, right? So that's going to go there. I like it. And I think I'm going to go ahead and edge this. I'm going to pull out some Distressed Oxide and Spiced Marmalade. And let's just go over the edge here and be a little messy with it. We can do this too. All right. I like how that kind of smeared on there, and I think it will relate to this. And then I'm going to leave it out because I have a feeling once we get this in place, we're going to want to do a little on that edge. But once again, I'm going to bring the heat tool in because I want those edges dry. So to finish this one off, I think I'm going to go ahead and put some foam tape on the back. I think just one piece will do it. I'm just going to center it right down the middle here. I did set this one off to the side to dry because even with the heat tool, the edges here were coming off orange still. So that was really interesting that they were taking a terribly long time to dry. All right, so I want to cover that up. I want to keep the word on the tag, right? And I think I can just go ahead and cut off. Hopefully I'm square off here. Okay, I can cut that much off. I do want to go in and add a little orange to that side. And then I'm going to have to be careful not to get it on my fingers as I put this down on top of that spot. Hopefully, not bad, not perfectly square. I think I can still lift up. All right, let's try it again. So what I'm looking at is squaring this corner here and then trying to remain straight with the bottom as well. All right, there, it's good enough, good enough. Ooh. All right, I feel like we need to add some black. So I'm going to bring in a black pen and let's just go in here and do a few black dots. I think that is exactly what it needed. Too many? Probably. And there we go. Finished tag.